Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something very different from what we talked about before. And today we have a special guest, Amy.
Woo! Introduce yourself. You are forced to.
Hi, I'm Amy. Obviously I'm here since... Am I allowed to spoil the topic right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm here because Brianna told me to come because I watch anime, like, a lot.
Yes.
Relatable.
Well, there you have it. Today's topic. So, basically foreign films.
Oh,
specifically
okay.
Asian foreign films. So,
And
like...
Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically
Basically just Japanese.
Yeah.
Not even Asian. But yeah. And some background info about Amy without spoiling personal information. She's my very good friend. Some would call it best friend relationship. But she barely replies to my messages.
I'm not
but we're
active.
still good friends. But anyway, that's not what today is about. So, I think Charlotte also watches anime.
I'm pretty basic. I only watch those very basic, famous.
Respect.
And
Respect.
At least you do, because I've never watched an anime in my life.
One day you'll be converted to one of us.
yes.
I don't know if I would look forward to it or not, but anyway. Anyway, seems like it's a cult. Seems like it's a cult.
It is.
Oh,
It is
no.
so addictive.
One of us.
Okay, so both of them have prepared a list, as usual. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say, we were just talking all about animes. We're also going to talk about Studio Ghibli. Studio, however you say it, because we just searched it up and both pronunciations are correct, so
Yes.
it's fine. Anyway, Studio Ghibli. I know for a fact Amy has watched so many. I myself have watched a couple, but she has watched beyond the number that I've watched. So
Yeah.
she's kind of a Japanese movie connoisseur now.
I wouldn't... Yeah.
Guess you could say that.
I watch a decent amount.
Wow. I could never. Respect. Much respect. Anyway, we'd better get to the point before we bore our viewers and they all leave. Okay, who wants to start first with their list?
We could start with Ghibli first.
Oh, right. Let's do Ghibli first.
You've watched those, so we can talk about
Yay.
that. My favorite Ghibli, I don't know.
Let's just...
My favorite
Yeah.
movie is Whisper of the Heart.
Who?
I don't know if you've seen it, because it's like, compared to like Howl's Moving Castle, it's kind of underrated.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a very cute movie. I think Howl's is a very close second, though. They're both romance.
Mm-hmm.
But Whisper of the Heart is more like younger romance, I guess.
Oh.
What's it about? I've never heard of it before. I'm sorry.
It's basically, it's just like your classic romance film. It's just really cute. Like these two kids meet in a town and they like meet in a violin shop and they play music.
Oh.
And yeah.
Might go watch it after this.
It's very cute. The art is very nice, as all of their films are.
What about the outfits? Like the wardrobes for all Japanese films, I'm sure, are like immaculate.
It's not as, like exaggerated, I guess, as like Howl and Howl's Moving Castle. They just wear like normal clothes because they go to school too, I'm sure, at like some point in the film. So like either uniforms or just like classic like normal shirt and pants and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. So, what rating would you give that?
Rating like, can I just say a 10? It was really cute. I
Sure.
liked
10 out of 10.
Yay.
For very
10
good
out of
reasons.
10 would recommend.
Okay, we're just gonna go random order here. No one has a list prepared, so whatever comes to mind. So, what about Howl's Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle is super popular.
Yeah, I mean, it has the iconic merry-go-round of life theme, and everybody knows merry-go-round of
Oh,
life
yeah.
theme. Yeah. Insert clip here. Oh, wait, shoot. No, you can't, because we're going to get copyrighted. Never
The
mind.
scenery in Howl's is really pretty. Like, the backgrounds and stuff is really nice. Especially like the big castle, moving castle,
Yeah.
which is like the main. It's even part of the title. It's really nice.
It looked like an egg, to be honest.
The castle or
The castle.
Howl's moving egg.
I mean, it looks like a pile of junk to me. Gonna be honest.
And like I remember there's a scene where Hal or Sophie makes breakfast. It was like 2 pieces of bacon and 8 eggs. And I was like, Mom, I want one of those. And my mom was like, no, make it yourself. And I'm like, fine, I'm not gonna eat it anymore. So
Okay, could you give us like, Amy, could you give us like a little summary of each of the characters? Like basically Howl and Sophie, because they're your protagonists. Like what do you like about them and what do you not like about them?
I feel like Sophie, it's a tiny plot spoiler, but like when she gets turned old, she's just like your average grandma caring for like a bunch of people, you know? Like stereotypical, I guess, but like she's very kind basically towards everyone. Howl is like, I wouldn't say completely the opposite, but he's just like that one mysterious character that knows more than they let on.
Opposites attract.
There's like certain scenes. Yeah, opposites attract. There's like some scenes where Howl's like seen fighting people. Yeah, basically that.
And I know the story is kind of like there's war themes as well, so that's really
Yeah, there is.
touching.
and there's a scarecrow thingy.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, no more stuttering. What about, what else? Oh, My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh.
Who doesn't know Totoro? Come on.
I like Totoro so much.
Totoro's
It's so fluffy.
So fluffy.
I know. It's so big. It's so fluffy. I want to cuddle it. But
What are your opinions, Amy?
I feel like I would have liked Totoro more if I was younger, because I only watched it last year. So I was like 15 years old when I was watching it. It was still super cute, but like it's still really, really nice, but I think if I watched it when I was younger, I would have enjoyed it a lot more than right now.
Understandable. But like, you can't get, it's so adorable.
It's very cute. It's still very cute.
Yeah. And you know, that sibling relationship, it's just, it's just good to
People can relate to it.
Yeah. Okay, what about Kiki's Delivery Service? I think there's also an iconic musical theme in there.
yeah.
Is there?
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't remember what it is, though.
Sure.
Kiki's is also really... I think all Ghibli films are just really, really
They
cute.
are. The animation style is also super cute.
Mm-hmm.
And just like plot and character personalities and everything.
Yeah, I really like Kiki's character writing. I don't know, she's fun. She's fun as a protagonist. I feel like a bunch of shows or movies have really like bland, basic protagonists, and like it's the side characters that are more interesting. But Kiki is like, she's fun to have as the main
AKA
character.
the artist in the woods. Side character. Yeah. I guess that's a good summary of all Ghibli films. They're just cute.
Yeah.
They do a good job, I think. And the style, you know. What other ones are there?
Spirited Away.
Oh, obviously.
Spirited Away. Everyone knows Spirited Away. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. No need to talk about it. Just watch it. It's so good. It won. Didn't it like get nominated for an Oscar?
I think it did.
I don't know if it won, but
I don't
It
think
might
it
have,
won. I don't
like-
think it won.
it got nominated.
Yeah,
At
I
least
think
that's
so.
still like
That's still pretty good.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! Round of applause. It's just self-explanatory. Just like go watch if you haven't watched, and you'll get yourself a summary. We don't need to do it for you.
Oh no, it won.
Oh my god!
I searched it up.
Yay!
Spirited Away wins Animated Feature 2003 Oscars.
Woo! Wait, it was 2003?
I have no idea. That's the first thing that I saw. But it said that it won. So
Yay! Because I
Yay.
feel like I'm so old.
It is really old.
I feel like, oh my goodness.
Oh, another movie would be Grave of the Fireflies, which is like the most depressing.
Oh, that one was so sad.
So sad.
If you have like siblings, I feel like it would be a lot way sadder, especially like younger siblings, because you could relate to it.
I remember when I watched it, I watched like 10 minutes and then I just like stopped and I was like, no, I need to give my brain a break. And then like 2 weeks later.
The one thing about it is that I actually got spoiled for what happens in it. So if you're going to watch it, you should go in like completely blind. Like don't search up like anything about it. That's the one thing I recommend. Because I got spoiled for it, which didn't make it as sad.
Oh, what?
But
But it's still sad. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
still sad, but like if I didn't get spoiled, I feel like I would have cried more the first time.
By the way, feel free to just give plot summaries because like we're spoiler central nation here. Spoiler nation. Spoiler central. What am I saying? I can't talk anymore. But like, yes, we can summarize anything you want. Just beware to the viewers. Yeah, what other ones are there? I think, was there one called Ponyo? Or,
I haven't seen Ponyo.
okay, I see.
Oh wait, have I?
Have you?
Is that the goldfish one?
I think so.
I feel like the goldfish one was weird. I didn't like Ponyo that much. I feel like it's more for like kids, Ponyo, because the plot is really confusing. It's like really random, like a kid's film.
Kids will understand. They have more state of consciousness than adults.
Well, sometimes I feel like films are only good because they're so random and that you can't really know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen, and everything is just so different and unpredictable. It's actually fun at the same time when it's absurd. Am I making sense? I feel like I can't speak after
I mean,
self-isolation.
this is our podcast, just not making sense. Like, no
True.
one will ever understand.
Another underrated one is I think it's called The Wind Rises. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's also another like war romance kind
Oh,
of
those
one,
are
and
like
it's pretty sad. Those ones are really good. Ghibli does those films really well.
I feel like they're kind of hard to do well. I mean, like, since mainstream TV and Hollywood tends to use those kinds of plot lines so often, it's just like old. But Ghibli does it well, I think. Yeah, we can all agree. Guys, I would just like to, before we continue, Joe Hisaishi is like the best modern day composer there is, and beg to differ. And don't even correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. Like, it's just amazing. He's my composer inspiration of modern day time. He's just so good. Yeah. He keeps like reviving his old soundtracks and like conducting them now, like 20, 30 or more or less years later, or adding on, or just like innovating, and it's just so cool. Yeah, just had to mention that. Okay, I think that's done. That's it with Ghibli. So now for the moment you've all been waiting for, anime.
The shows.
The
now.
shows that have launched Char's expectations so high that she doesn't even want to interact with people in real life.
Why interact with people in real life when you have the world of anime? 'Cause
She's head palming right now. She's palming. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so I
Yeah.
thought I might start with a few movies instead of series. So I'm just gonna recommend 3 romantic Japanese movies.
Lovely.
The first one is Your Name. The second one, The Garden of Words. And the third one, 5 centimeters per second. And I don't really know how to summarize it because, as I've said before, it's basically a romantic film. And that the plot is essentially the same. A boy and a girl falls in love. Somehow they drifted apart, and then the end. So,
Your Name is like super famous.
you're
I think all of those are written by like the same director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I say 5 centimeters per second. Oops. I dropped my headphones. 5 centimeters per second. The plot was like really difficult to follow for me, but the other two were like super good. I really liked them.
And I kind of didn't like the animation style of 5 centimeters per second. It had breathtaking sceneries, but like the character building was just so shallow. It's basically just a sketch.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was like one of that. I don't remember the director's name, but like it was one of his first films, so you can't always have like the best film first. Your Name is still like super good though. I still rewatched it like 3 times. Garden of Words was also nice, but it's pretty short compared to the other ones. It's like not even an hour, I think.
Interesting.
I like short films.
Fair.
Not much plot development, or just really fast paced.
I don't have an attention span, so I get lost.
Sounds
That's
good.
it.
Valid.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Do you have anything to recommend, Amy?
Okay, so I have a couple that I like and dislike. The first one is it's a pretty new anime. I'm not sure if it finished yet because I haven't caught up with the last episodes, but it's called To Your Eternity. I watched it because like so many of my friends told me that it was like, oh, it's so good, you have to watch it. And I watched like the first episode just because like that's what I do with all shows. I watch the first like 2 or 3 episodes just to see like if it's good or not, and I cried like the first episode. To Your Eternity, it's like a pretty sad show, honestly. I've seen people say they cried like every single episode, and the animation is like really good. It's not like Violet Evergarden level, I think, but it's still really, really nice. So I would recommend that.
Interesting.
I once asked my friend for anime recs because I was running out of shows to watch, and she listed me Violet Evergarden, To Your Eternity, Your Lie in April, and I feel like she wanted
Those
to
are all
call
so
me.
sad.
And yeah,
Violet Evergarden is like the staple of sad anime series. It's short, it's good. The animation is honestly like one of the best animated series like that I've seen. The animation's so good.
I've heard of Your Lie in April because I think there's violin in it.
Piano. It's piano and violin.
Oh!
It's basically a piano player and a violin player like fall in love.
Oh.
It's like
and then they fall
it's
apart.
very sad.
Yeah.
It's sad?
It's very
It's
sad.
sad.
It's sad. It's so sad.
Interesting.
I cried. Maybe I just cry a lot.
I think I know like 3 anime titles, and like that's all my brain can handle. That's like the max capacity is these 3, and I don't even know what they're called. Well, I kind of know. Okay, one of them is one that Shar told me about because she's kind of obsessed with a character in it, and it's called Attack on Titan. And I think that one's like super.
Oh,
You guys
boy.
need to talk about that because I think that's like the superior, most well-known
Okay.
anime.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is like super duper famous. I think it recently ended.
I'm obsessed with it.
Honestly,
Bonking head in agreement.
I read the manga too. I haven't actually finished it, but I read like pretty close to the end, and I got so confused on what was happening that I gave up. I was like, who are all these people? To be fair, I stopped reading it for like 4 months before I caught up again, so I kind of like lost track of who was who.
Okay.
I think the animation is really nice though. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say. The animation is very nice.
Tell me about what it's about, because I don't even...
It's about these giant. Do you know what a titan is? It's basically like
Giant
a
new
giant
people.
person. Yeah,
a giant person, but
titans.
not a giant, but it's a titan. It's
Yeah.
not a giant.
It's a bunch of people who are living in this like small town that's enclosed by a big wall, and one day these titans
Just break in.
come up and just break in, and they're all
Kill
like
people.
dying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you have your protagonists, which are...
Eren, Mikasa, Armin. They're like, oh no, Titans ate our family. We must revenge. So
Levi supremacy. Levi supremacy.
Char's love of her life.
Levi supremacy. Erwin supremacy.
Levi's supremacy.
Erwin is so underrated. But like, yeah.
Mikasa too.
That one
Mikasa is so
flashback
pretty.
to that one time where I was making fun of Char and her obsession of Levi, and then I said Jean, and then she told me Jean was another character, and I was like, oh shoot.
I don't like Gene. I don't like
They're
him.
okay.
I mean, he's not
He was
that
alright.
attractive, and he literally has no other character traits other than being a Mikasa simp. So,
Yeah, fair.
I can't.
He's funny,
I don't
though.
have
yeah,
anything
he's
to-
fun.
I don't have anything to add. I mean, what would you expect as someone who's never watched an anime? Okay, so the second anime that I kind of know but don't know is the figure skating one.
Yuri on
Ice.
Oh my
Nice.
god, Yuri on Ice.
And both Char and Amy.
LGBT representation.
Sorry. Both Char and Amy know my obsession over a certain figure
With
skater,
you.
and
love
this
him.
this one I don't think is inspired by him, but figure skating, same
think-
elements, it's fine.
The main character of Yuri on Ice was like somewhat inspired by the figure skater that Brianna likes.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, first of all, they look really similar, and they're both like really.
And I know the
talented,
programs
so-
were like inspired as well. I saw that in a
Yeah.
documentary.
It's a very nice show. Season 2 when, movie when, pain. What's your third anime?
My third anime, I don't know what it's called, but it has to do with volleyball.
Oh, Haikyuu. I admit, I have been rewatching and rereading Haikyuu after like not doing anything about it for months. It's so good. It's so good.
See.
I could talk about it for a long
Okay,
time.
talk. Go ahead. We have all day. We have all
okay.
day. We don't, but like, come on.
First of all, okay, the one thing I don't like about it actually was that in the new season they changed the animation style, and I don't really like the new animation style. I feel like, okay, a bunch of people say it's a lot better because the old one was kind of like not. The old one was a bit uglier, but I think the old one was better for a sports anime because it looked more clean and like when they actually played the game. But I think the new one isn't even that bad. I just like the old one more. So that's the one bad thing I have to say about it. The good thing, the number one thing that I like most in a show is the character writing. And the Haikyuu character writing is so well done. There's like a bunch of times where like you would expect, okay, this actually plays into plot writing too, but like there's a bunch of times in a match where like one team does something like super amazing and they don't even like get to score the point because of plot armor, which plot armor is honestly kind of really annoying to have in a show. So Haikyuu doesn't actually have that much plot armor, which I like. The characters get to like grow a lot. You get to see the characters
Oh,
develop.
that's so
There's this one character that I think if you've seen the show that you should know about, the middle blocker, the tall guy, Tsukishima or something. There's this one scene in season 3, god tier character development. It was so funny. It was so fun to watch.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Cool. Rating out of 10.
Rating out of 10. If you like action, comedy, and cool characters, it's a 10 out of 10.
Cool.
If you're just there for like something else, then it's not for you.
What if I'm there for cute high school volleyball players?
Oh my
Then
god.
that's the show for you. Then that's the show for you.
Shar, do you have any last minute words on this anime?
Not really.
All right. I just thought of another one because said she was rewatching it lately.
Ooh.
Yeah. Give me a second. You guys say the next title and I'll try to remember what it's called.
Okay.
I
What other shows to talk about?
feel like we should mention Jujutsu Kaisen because
Oh, yeah.
I think it has the potential to become a masterpiece.
It's being very hyped right now. If it got more like seasons in the future, it could definitely like challenge Attack on Titan's popularity.
Nothing will ever challenge Attack on Titan.
Okay, that's definitely just because of your love for Levi.
And my love for Eren and
Understandable.
whole like plot thing, but yeah, let's move on. Yeah, back to Jujutsu.
Jujutsu. There's one thing. My friend who watches like a decent amount of anime too, she has this like, you know how in a bunch of shows there's side characters that outshine the protagonist? She's like the type of person that only likes those side characters. She hates like every single anime protagonist because she's like, oh, they're so like basic, they're so boring. But when she watched Jujutsu, she was like, hey, I actually like the main character for once. So yeah, I think I really like, I forget his name, I think it's Megumi or something. I know everyone loves Gojo.
I like Megumi.
'cause- Yeah, I like him too. I think all of the characters in that show are really fun though. I also like the sashimi guy, or salmon? Sashimi? Something like that.
I forgot him.
He just says like salmon half the
Yeah.
time. Those are half his voice lines. I like him.
Cool. I remember the title. It's My Hero Academia.
Oh god. Okay, I was actually gonna mention that.
Okay,
actually,
go ahead.
Because My Hero Academia is, I've heard it's like the best selling manga in Japan. Oh no, that's Demon Slayer, sorry. But it's like also super duper popular. I hate My Hero Academia. It's so okay, if you watch it just for like the fight scenes, it might not be that bad because I liked it at first. But then later on, first of all, the humor was just like badly done for a lot of the parts. There's too many characters that like didn't get shown because the cast is huge. So if you have a huge cast, like I want to see like this character, but then they're like, no, let me show you the main character for the 10 billionth time in the like millionth flashback of the exact same scene. And I was like, yeah, no, thank you.
My Hero Academia just doesn't vibe with me, to be honest. I tried reading the manga, but it's just not for me. Because like the whole plot thing, the style, it's just not me. I'm sorry to all those
see.
fans out there.
Interesting. What's it about? Like, I have no clue.
It's about, okay, the main character, this is like the most basic plot ever. The main character lives in a world where everybody has superpowers, and he does not have a superpower, and he wants to become strong like his favorite hero, but yeah.
I see.
It's
Interesting.
so basic.
What other titles are on your list?
Let's see. I have one. It's called Bungo Stray Dogs. The actual, so it's basically about, I wouldn't say similar to My Hero Academia, but in the essence of like ability users, the main character, the first episode, he gets thrown away by his orphanage, and he has to like, he's being chased by a man-eating tiger, and then he meets these people that are part of this detective agency, which are basically like government workers who have superpowers, and then they just like work to fight against like bad things like the mafia or like terrorists and stuff like that. If you like pretty boys, you will like Bungo Stray Dogs. I will say that.
Go watch Shar. Go watch it.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I see.
The animation is really pretty, and there's this one thing that I really like about it. All the characters are named after real authors who have lived in like real life, and their abilities are named after the books written by the authors. For example, there's Gatsby, and his ability is the Great Gatsby, obviously. And there's like, yeah, that's basically something that I find fun about it.
Cool. Well, basically, what we've learned today is that all of the popular mainstream animes are just like, some of them, would you say that they're overrated? Some of them.
I think it depends on your taste. I think it depends on your taste.
Our
Like,
taste, the group of three here that we have, our little trio, think that they're like, oh, they're trying a little too hard.
there's some shows that deserve the hype, and there's some that definitely don't, is what I'll say.
Comment down below if you want a part 2. Okay, so the meeting is going to close on us. So, final words from anybody?
Yeah.
Thank you to our followers for listening this long. And please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, comment and like. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And this is kind of awkward because I don't usually do this. But
Yeah, it's just me. But you won't regret subscribing. Okay, thank you so much, Amy, for
Thank you for
I
having
literally
me. It
begged
was
her to
fun.
come, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next Saturday at 6 p.m.